Hola, buenos días, soy Nico. And today we're here to film another week's worth of content. I'm sorry in advance if I am low energy. Basically, it's 6:30 a.m. I do not feel well, and I'm trying to bulk record because I have a trip coming up this weekend. And hopefully, I feel better by that trip because I cannot go on a plane with my stomach acting like this. But now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's get started in actual content. But if you like this kind of content, make sure to follow me on patreon.com/Nicosaesthetics for more exclusive lives, weekly videos, and be a part of the live streams. Sorry, this is like my fourth time recording this video just because I could not get that right because I'm so scatterbrained right now. But let's get on to the topic. Public play gone wrong. Nico, I have not had one of these videos in a good minute. That does not mean public play has necessarily stopped, but it just wasn't as wild as the situation was, so it didn't call for a video. Nico, before we get started on that, I want to specify, because every time I have any form of discussion, everything I say is scrutinized through the lens of trying to find me in a moment of hypocrisy. I think I addressed my Brazil beach video with Ty Santana when I first came back from my hiatus when I went to Brazil. And I basically had to explain how I was on a beach, a nudist, super happy adult fun time beach, where you basically have to take a 40-minute Uber off the beaten path, climb through a forest and like a rock trail just to get to that beach. So it was secluded and there for that specific reason. When we talk about those kind of things about public play and the act of consent when it comes to that kind of environment, I was not in the US. I was out of the country when that video came out. So I was not under the same like legal and social norms that the US has in Brazil, if that makes sense. Just because while I was at that beach, most of the locals were indulging. So me and my friends indulged as well, but I just wanted to get that out of the way, and I feel like that was a waste of a good 2 minutes of the intro. But let's get started on the actual video. So basically, this I can't even identify who these people are. Basically, 3 people were caught on camera riding on top of the subway surfers here in New York, and they were hunching. 2 of the men were hunching and the other one was recording, and somebody caught it on camera and is causing a big stir. And at first I thought it was fake. I personally believe no one can be this horny to hop on top of a train and hunch for content. I mean, it's a blatant disrespect to people's consent, especially since it was in broad daylight. But it's just like the ridiculousness of it that makes it such a oh my god moment. And a lot of people were trying to attach this to New York City sexcapades. Nico, who is that? He's a public content creator that I've addressed in the past, I believe, maybe on Patreon or just a very distant video, where he basically has people deliver food to his apartment and he'll open the door naked and erect. He will go in the middle of a street at night and pull his pants down while walking in a crowd. He does very purposefully I want you to see type of content, and it does invalidate the consent of those around him. But I want to say in particular to this, I don't believe it was him, for the sole fact that he has not spoken about this situation whatsoever. Because I know when this came out, people assumed that was him doing it. But as of late, to my knowledge, he's currently doing more of like a party bus kind of agenda, where they get a party bus and they have a bunch of people freaking in the bus, but the windows are tinted so no one can really see. So they're not harming anybody. It's just like super happy adult fun time in motion in a van. But yes, I don't believe it was him. But I do believe like public content is getting out of hand. But I will say those that actively violate others' consent have been getting the hammer dealt down on them. For example, there was a video that popped up months ago that I wanted to talk about, but I didn't have enough conversation points to actually just talk about it, where basically this man named Kwame I'm going to tell you why I know his first name in a second. But this man named Kwame posted a video on Twitter where he is sitting in broad daylight near a heavy stream of elderly people. And he is at a restaurant table with his legs spread open with his super happy adult fun time appendage and a cock ring bouncing up and down as he gently like touches it while these elderly people are in clear view of him. Like there's no possible way they're not seeing this. Meanwhile, some woman is trying to like have a conversation while he is doing all of this. And I'm assuming she didn't notice, but it's pretty blatant.
We're just noticing how people don't do things right. The brick's already breaking it. Brand new. Hadn't been there about a year or so. Look at, no, they didn't put any footing under it. See how it's cracking? It's coming apart, and the other one too. Excuse me, I'm just fussing.
And I wanted to talk about that because that was just vile in my personal opinion to just assault people like that. But then when he continued to post content basically saying, oh, this curious straight guy wanted to play with me at the gym but was worried that his brothers would find him in the locker room playing with me, people started to post receipts of Kwame. Nico, what do you mean? They basically posted how he has 3 felony counts against him. He basically went through the process of recording over 81 people. 3 of them were minors in 152 secret camera videos in the spa that he worked at. So it's just going to show that people are finally getting caught for these wild actions, especially as the internet progresses and we find better ways to track people via IP, people via apps, you know, actually hold people accountable. And I'm personally happy about that. But I definitely want to hear your opinions down below. Have you seen the video of the elderly people unknowingly walking into dangly man appendage? Did you see the photos of the New York City subway servers? Because I actually had to go and look for the news article for this one in particular, because I'm just sitting here like, this doesn't sound real. Nobody could be that like titillated that they would hop on top of a train trying to fulfill some kind of fantasy. But you know, nothing's impossible in 2024. I will give you that. But with that, I will leave the conversation up to you guys, and I will see you guys next time. I'm going to try to sleep. Boop. And now for a brief yet sincere shout out to this week's Third Eye Tier subscribers, Nathaniel GR and Jeremy A. Your continued support is greatly appreciated, and thank you everyone who supports the channel. And once again, this week's live stream, February 29th, will be canceled because I have prior and real life engagements that I do have to appear at. So thank you once again for being understanding, and I will see you guys on Friday.